That's something that is for other people to determine, not necessarily me to determine. What I'm proud of here is that, again, I've worked with some amazing individuals from our sworn staff to our professional staff that they contribute to the safety of this community in ways that most people probably never even know or see. And to have a great staff like I do here has made my job as a police chief very easy. There's a lot of things I'm sure people can point to. I'll leave that to those folks to decide what legacy looks like. But from my perspective, it's a great group of men and women who are so committed to this community, who sacrifice so much to make sure that our residents and our visitors are safe when they are going about their daily business.
May I ask you, what are some of the driving forces that are taking you to Wilmington?
I think it's a great community there. It's got a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity there, a little bit bigger department, about 100 more officers, give or take. Just in going through that hiring process there, got a really good feel for the folks that are in leadership in the city there, and felt like it was a good fit for my skill set. I think it's an opportunity, certainly, and the reality is I can't be the police chief here forever as well, right? So we've got very, very capable staff with Deputy Chief Edwards, who's going to be stepping in the interim, Deputy Chief Stokes, and many other folks here. So Lynchburg is in great hands. The average citizen here is not going to see anything different from the Lynchburg Police Department upon my retirement. I think things will keep moving forward, and that speaks to, again, the men and women here and the incredible work they do.
How much has gone into communicating with the city about your retirement? I know some people said they were pretty shocked to hear that you're leaving.
Yeah, I think, trying to honor what Wilmington had asked me to do, which was to keep that process confidential, was very difficult. I would have loved to have had a lot more time to share what was going on with folks, but out of respect to them, they were trying to keep that process somewhat confidential. And definitely, I know it seems to some folks anyways who've approached me and said, hey, we're very surprised by this, but at the same time, I think folks understand that my heart has always been with the Lynchburg Police Department, and when I leave here, I'll take a big piece of this place and this community with me. But I don't know if there's ever a good time to retire, but I think there's a right time, and I think the department is in a really good place right now. There's always things we can improve on, certainly, but I think it's moving in the right direction, and again, got some great personnel and staff here that will keep pushing things forward.
Do you have any most memorable moments of your time as chief, or anything that you feel like you really brought to the community of Lynchburg that maybe differs from the chief before you?
Yeah, I don't know that I'd ever compare myself to another chief per se, but I think we all do things a little bit differently, certainly. But I think we're all committed to the same goal, which is looking after our staff and making sure our community is safe. And I think the relationships is probably the biggest piece that I would look to. I don't know that I'd look to any one specific event. I moved to Lynchburg in the tail end of 1996 from outside of Buffalo, New York. Honestly, people couldn't understand 90% of what I said, and I couldn't understand probably most of what they said either. This community welcomed me in, and they accepted me. I've grown here and really matured here as a human being, not just as a police officer. And I've built some incredible relationships in the community and in the department, and I think I'll miss those probably the most. Having just a really large network of people that I know I can count on in the community to partner with us as a police department to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep the community safe.
When you move from one city to the next as working in law enforcement, are there cases that stick with you that even though you moved, you kind of remember those forever?
Yeah, certainly. The one that two probably that immediately come to mind for me. Certainly Kingston Campbell. If you were to go up to my office right now, you would see the flyer from his service sitting on my desk, and that's one that certainly sticks with me. Our folks here have done some incredible work on that case. We still need community members to come forward that we know have information on that, but that one definitely sticks out. And Jamisha Gilbert sticks out, young lady who was tragically lost her life several years ago. That's another one that certainly sticks out to me. And there's many, many, many others, but those are the first two that come to mind when you ask me that question.
You were promoted from within. Are you hoping the city does the
Ultimately, that's a decision that the city manager gets to make. We certainly have capable people within the department, several capable people within the department. That's a decision that the manager gets to make, and we've been very, very lucky here as a police department to have several city managers, and certainly Mr. Benda, who does an incredible job of supporting our department. Very early in his career here, he's been here a little over 4 years now. He made a point to prioritize public safety, and he's done well with that for our folks, giving our folks some pretty substantial salary increases and implementing a salary program that ensures that our folks can be fairly paid, certainly, and that they can understand where they're going to progress through the system. So he's been a great supporter of the LPD, a great supporter of me as a police chief, and I'm certainly confident in whatever decision that he decides to make for who will be the next chief of police here in Lynchburg. I know he's going to pick someone that will be able to carry this department forward and do even greater things.
Is there any advice you want to leave for that person who fills your shoes?
Yeah, I think this job is certainly challenging. You're trying to constantly readjust the target, so to speak, a lot of times. But I think it all really boils down to relationships, right? Relationships internally in the department with our staff, and then relationships in our community. And that's not just something I do, right? That's something all of our staff does. That's something that my command staff does, my officers do, and it's a part of kind of the fabric of the LPD and the philosophy of what we push forward. It's when we talk about community policing and things like that, it's not a program, it's not an officer, it's not an event. It's a philosophy that we apply across our organization to make sure our folks understand how we police in Lynchburg. So I think they'll all do a great job with that. So.
Based on your research of the Wilmington Police Department, do they do things differently there, or what kind of ideas will you bring to your job as the chief of police there?
Yeah, so I've certainly done a lot of research, talked to some folks down there. Some of that's been a little challenging with kind of the confidentiality of that process, certainly. But, every police department does things slightly different, and every community is unique into itself. What works here might not necessarily work there, and vice versa. I've got a lot to learn down there. I'm going to rely on community members and certainly the men and women of the Wilmington Police Department to educate me. So I'll be that guy that's asking a lot of questions when I get there. And certainly I have ideas of things that I know have worked here, but I've got to kind of understand the lay of the land there and determine whether or not those will fit in that community. So it'll be a learning curve definitely for me when I get down there, but I'm excited about that as well.
Did you meet with each member of the city council? I saw that they had to vote to appoint you to.
Yeah, so Wilmington City Charter actually says that the council selects the police chief, unlike most localities where it's much more common that a city manager does. So in Lynchburg here, for example, the city manager selects the police chief, and as I said, I'm confident that he'll be able to do that well. But as far as your question, yeah, the process there was interviews with all 7 city council members together, and so yeah, a little different, but it was also a good opportunity for me to get to learn kind of what their priorities are and what they expect out of a police chief, and be able to do that in kind of a controlled environment was nice. So.
What does your wife think about moving to the Wilmington area?
Definitely a big change, right? We've been here for almost 30 years, so we're going to work through that process. And there's in addition to the professional side of it, there's certainly a very personal side of this too. And doing all the things that many of you probably had to do, and if you didn't grow up here, which is to find a place to live and figure out where you're going to get your hair cut and what dentist you're going to use, and all those little things that you just take for granted when you've been in a community for so long. So yeah, that'll be a process to get worked through, certainly.
Chief Edwards, so you'll be stepping in on September 6th or
5th, September 5th, yes.
Do you see what do you see yourself doing as interim police chief? How do you think that will work out?
Well, first of all, I just appreciate the opportunity that the city manager, Mr. Benda, has afforded me with serving in that role. And honestly, in that role as interim chief, going to just strive to continue the tradition of excellence, the standard of excellence that Chief Zuidema has set here during his tenure. That's definitely a roadmap to work through and continue. And there's a number of things that we're striving to do, which is we're striving to hire and recruit and hire the best possible people we can for this police department. We're striving to retain great employees, develop our employees within for future development, future promotion. We also, through Chief Zuidema's leadership, and he's mentioned it, the expectation is that all of us build and maintain relationships in the community, and we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to partner with the community to fight violent crime. Lynchburg is a safe city, but we do have violent crime, and Chief's mentioned a couple of cases, and in particular, and we're going to do all we can to continue to fight violent crime, have the best trained, best equipped, best supervised, best supported personnel that we can have here, and just continue that tradition of excellence through my role as interim chief. And it's made easier with the people we have here, because we have some great men and women here, from sworn police officers, professional staff, our emergency communications personnel. They're all great people that strive to do the best each and every day.
I would ask, do you have any message directly for the Lynchburg residents, just during this time of transition?
Sure. I would just say that there's not going to be any kind of impact to public safety. I think some of the emotion that's in the community, as far as the appreciation of Chief Zuidema and all he's been and all he means to everyone, all he means to you all as well. Everyone feels that right now, and it's bittersweet that he's retiring from the Lynchburg Police Department and joining the Wilmington, North Carolina Police Department. Wish him and his family all the best. But yes, as far as in the community, the Lynchburg Police Department is still here. Chief Zuidema has done a fantastic job of establishing a culture that is not going to be affected by his departure. He will be missed. It's bittersweet. On a personal note, I just appreciate everything Chief Zuidema has done for me professionally and personally. We've worked nearly 30 years together, and I've worked with him, I've worked for him, and he has just been the ultimate professional in all those years, and so that's what I would relay to the community.
What about this new beautiful headquarters? Is it tough to leave Chief Zuidema, since he played a big role in this giving building?
Yeah, this is certainly an incredible building, but this building has never been about the steel and the concrete. This building has been about two things. It's been about our staff, and it's been about our community. And the reality is as big and beautiful and spacious and modern as it is, what I'm most proud of is not pulling in here and looking at it. It's that the men and women of this department have a safe, comfortable place that has the technology that they need, the space they need to be able to do their jobs, not just now, but for many years to come. So I think, again, it's certainly the shiny object, and it's something that's very tangible, but the real value of this building is what it allows our officers and our staff to do. It allows them to do so many incredible things they couldn't do in the past. And so I will miss the people a lot more than I'll miss the building. So, yeah.
Any final questions for the Chief and Deputy Chief?
If I could, I'd just add and close. I appreciate you all as a media, and I mean that sincerely and personally. And you can go around. We don't always, we meaning law enforcement, have great relationships in different times, in different locations, and in different localities with the media. I'm not saying we get it perfect here. We're human beings. I'm sure we make mistakes. But at the end of the day, I think we work very well with our media here. I'm grateful to have a group of local media representatives like you all that are willing to partner with us when we need to be partnered with, willing to hold us accountable when we need to be held accountable, and just have that good working relationship. That helps our community, because at the end of the day, you all and we serve the community, right? We do it in different ways, right? And through different avenues, but you've all been great partners, and I certainly appreciate as far back as wow, probably 2010 or 11, where I was actually the PIO when we didn't have a full-time PIO, and I learned a lot, and I learned it very quickly, and it's because a lot of the folks that you work with, some of whom are still there, that kind of helped me along. So thank you for what you do to partner with us as a department to cover a lot of the really important things and some of the really tough things too. And I know you all see a lot of things that we do that human beings shouldn't have to see and deal with, but you do a good job of covering that. So thank you for your partnership, and certainly thank you for being here today. I will miss you all as well, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I'll be learning a whole bunch of new faces and folks down in the Wilmington area as well. So thank you all, and thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. All right, y'all have a good day.
Thanks, everybody.
Sorry. Thanks, Anna.